you some breaking updates as far as Ukraine is concerned, and this is a big one. US intelligence believes that Russia wants to take a full control of the Donbass region by May the 9th. Intelligence services think that Putin now intends to focus on the Donbass region. In the rest of Ukraine, Russian troops cannot hold control over the areas where they are fighting. Remember, viewers, we had seen how the kind of accelerated aggression on the Donbass region had been seen in the Donetsk and the Luhansk region as well. Remember, Russia had put forth one of the demands as creating a buffer zone between Ukraine and Russia. Samiksha, my colleague, joins us from the Mumbai newsroom. Samiksha, we have seen the kind of aggravated aggression on the ground by the Russian troops in the Donbass region, and now the US intelligence also say the same.
Well, absolutely, Priyanka. This is something we are seeing on the ground as well as far as Russia's military offensive in Ukraine is concerned. With the offensive now crossing over a month, we've seen how Russia has been increasing its military presence in not just eastern Donbass region, but other regions as well. But there seems to be a change in strategy as well. And now US intel reports also saying the same, saying that Russia intends to take full control of that eastern Donbass region, which comprises of Luhansk and Donetsk by May 9th. So it remains to be seen how this pans out, given that Russia has clearly said that it will be retreating its troops from Chernihiv and Kiev and will be focusing on eastern Donbass region. Back to you.
Well, absolutely, Samiksha, and that is the kind of buffer zone that Russia had always wanted between Ukraine and Russia to also stop the eastward expansion of NATO as well. I thank you for joining us on the broadcast with those details. And let's take a quick check of all that's happening in Ukraine. In his nightly address to the Ukrainian people embattled, President Volodymyr Zelensky said late in Ukraine's forces were continuing to claw back territory that had fallen under Russian occupation, but lamented continued lack of critical aid from the Western countries. He also said that Ukrainian forces were attacking Russian troops' positions as they withdrew. A Russian group that monitors political arrests said that 208 people were detained in demonstrations held across the country protesting Russia's military operation in Ukraine. The OVD Info group said that demonstrations took place in 17 Russian cities from Siberia to more densely populated west. More than 70 people were detained in Moscow and a similar number in St. Petersburg. Ukrainian troops moved further north from the capital of Kiev and retook control of Antonov International Airport in Hostomel after Russian forces retreated from the area. Russian forces tried to storm the airport within the first few days of the war, but Ukrainian troops were stationed back at its entrance and pushed back the Russian army. Ukrainian troops moved further north from Kiev after retaking territory from retreating Russian forces. As they moved through the towns north of Kiev, soldiers cleared barricades and inspected suspicious objects. Meanwhile, President Zelensky warned that a Russian forces pull back from Ukraine's capital region can be a potentially catastrophic situation for civilians. Now, Ukrainian refugee mothers and their children protested in Budapest against Russia's war in Ukraine one day before the national elections in Hungary. They were then joined several hundreds of protesters from anti-Russia and anti-Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban event. Notably, alone among Ukraine's neighbors in the European Union, Hungary has refused to support and supply aid to war-torn nation of Ukraine.